Yo, it's Ced. It's Real Talk Fridays, another one where we just talk about what's on my mind and what's going on for the week. And this week, I finally went into a GameStop, which has been a while since I've ever done that. I think back to those times when I was like really in my gaming bag for real. You have it in such regard, right? It's great time and all that kinds of stuff, but you don't really think about how we kind of all transitioned into like getting straight digital games and just the convenience of that, and just falling into just that loop of buying it in the store, playing it, uninstalling it, and downloading the next one. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until like a lot of these talks of what these companies are doing these days, which is, it looks like people are trying to go on the route of just reserving the full right of snatching the game from the store whenever they feel like it, even though you paid full price for it. I don't like how that sounds. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the legal jargon and the way to really explain it, but either way, how this leads to my GameStop story. All that was on my mind, right? And I was out with my partner. We were grabbing some lunch, and I was like, you know what, babe, you want to go to GameStop? And she's like, sure, it's right next door, which luckily it was next door. We were grabbing some Wendy's, shout out Wendy's. And I'm like, yeah, if I go in there, I got a game I'm about to grab right now if they got it in stock. So she's like, bet. So we finish eating, we go over to the GameStop. And walking in there, because it's been a while, I haven't really gone to a GameStop since I bought my Xbox. And I've had my Xbox for almost 2 years now that I think about it, which is crazy. Time flies. I will be walking to the GameStop, right? And you know when you walk into a good AC GameStop, on top of, I don't know if it's just the aura of the plastics or the covers or whatever the case is, it's just a certain feeling. Walking around, looking at the different games. Because another thing on top of this visit is, ever since I've gotten this current gen consoles, I have yet to have one physical game for PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. I've mostly just been playing games that's either on the PlayStation Plus collection or on the Game Pass, and there's a few here and there that I've bought digitally. Because with other stuff I'm trying to do with life and how life has been, my money's been focused on other things. So just to keep my little gaming hobby here, you know, you invest in the smart stuff, which I've always promoted. But this time, I'm like, dang, I'm looking at these games and I'm like, I don't have a physical game of this generation yet. And I've been in this generation for a couple years now, because it's always been my dream to finally catch up, because since my inception in my gaming hobby, I've always been behind, you know. I've always been on the last console when the new one come out. So this is like really my first time catching up. So let's fast forward and I get the game that I'm buying, which, shout out to being a pros member, they only had 4 in stock, but they were pre-ordered, right? So at first I was like, damn, all right, bro, I'm gonna slide then. I'll go to another one, or maybe I'll look it up online. And he's like, but at the corner is like, well, but if you have a pros membership, they have priority, and it doesn't matter if anybody had it on pre-order. You can steal it. I was like, oh, word? How much? So we put in my number and all that stuff, and he put it in. He's like, well, it's expired. And I was like, damn. I was like, I mean, how much to renew it? If you renew it right now, I'll give it to you for the 2018 price of just $15. I was like, I don't know who Buddy is. I don't know if he needed some pro membership joints or whatever, but I had it on me today. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I renew my joint. I have this game in my hands. And bro, it takes me back. Like that feeling of unwrapping that new plastic off it, bro. And that first pop of the case, you get to see the instruction manual, the art that's on the disc. Like, you read the back of the game. You getting ready, getting excited based off the pictures, based off the art, what you think the game could be. I don't know about y'all, but my routine, this is what my routine used to be, right? If I got me a new game, I mean, rest in peace to instruction manuals. I think most games just do it digitally now, right? And they just put it in like the options or whatever. But back when physical games ran the whole market, right? I got my game. Obviously, I'm spending the whole ride looking at the front cover and the back cover. I'm reading, I'm analyzing. Mama got the road. I ain't worried about the windows. I'm getting excited. When you get home, pop it open, and I go to the instruction manual first. Because on top of obviously showing you how to play a game, they give you little tidbits about the game in there, as well as you get extra pictures sometimes in the manual and stuff. So it piques your interest even more, you know, before you even pop in the disc. It builds the hype for the game personally. It's something that's missing, bro. So definitely, I'm back to getting physical games again, like from here on out. And I'm personally excited for it. Like, I haven't looked up no gameplay. I didn't look up anything. I know why I'm excited for it, and I'll play through it and have my own genuine experience about it, you know? And you guys will be along for the ride, so it'll be interesting. The first of many. Sometimes you can get so focused on trying to reach your goals and what you want to get accomplished, especially if you have, you know, your own personal goals of maybe doing X, Y, and Z by certain ages, which kind of sucks. We shouldn't do that, but we all subconsciously end up doing it because, you know, everyone wants to have a full life, right? But sometimes you can be so focused on the grind that the things that make a life, you know, meaningful and nice, even during the time where maybe you're not exactly where you want to be perfectly, you forget to do those things. You forget to try to have those genuine little moments. And things like having the experience of having that next game that you're excited for in your hands and you're ready to actually just pop it in your console and play it. You know, sometimes simple things like that can be just something great. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this game, and I hope you guys are too when y'all see it. But like I said, when I went to GameStop, I also got my Switch Online membership. I got like a family joint with the homies. And they had, I think I just got the regular one. I didn't get the whole Plus Rumble pack, whatever the premium joint is. Because luckily, I'll give Nintendo that credit. Whenever you feel like it and you want to upgrade to it, you can pay the difference. So whenever I feel like doing that, I just pay the difference. But I only got, it was like $36. Late work, right? But the reason I decided to even do it is I had to get back on Earthbound, bro. For folks who don't know, yes, Ness from Smash has his own game.
Okay.
That's how I learned about the game originally myself, personally, because I've played every single Smash game since the first one on Nintendo 64, right? And on Smash 64, the first person I wanted to play as was Ness. Because he seemed cool, he had the backwards cap, he just seemed like a cool kid or whatever. And there's something about being able to smack people around with a regular bat. That's cool, right? I think it was in Melee when they started having like the sections you could read about trophies and characters and all that. That's when I started learning about Earthbound. And I remember the first time I tried to play the game, it felt a bit weird because obviously now we're in the GameCube era. We're all used to 3D and graphics at this point. We're talking PS2. PS2, GameCube. So going back to the 16-bit just going up and down, that turned it off for me. Feelings that you put on yourself because maybe the art style is not for you. Years later, I came across this video essay about it. And just the way that he was talking about the story, it wasn't really a spoiler, it was spoiler free. But the way that he talks about it, the game and the experience and like the kind of story that the game takes you on, I was like, now I'm interested. Nintendo already cracked down on emulators at this point, so it's like, all right, I ain't trying to do that. When they finally put Earthbound on the Nintendo Switch Online library for the emulator, that's when, as you can see now as well, I started to play the game again. And from where I am now in life, right, I'm a bit more open to how a story is told. Because at the end of the day, that's the thing that connects everything from books to movies, TV shows, video games, theaters, plays, to even speeches, you know? It's all a story being told to connect, right? And sitting down now, the things about this game, man, shout out to the developers. I don't remember the developers. I'll throw up the name. But just the way that the whole RPG vibe is set up, you know, like using items that on what a kid would usually be having in their own inventory, right? Like a baseball bat or, you know, a sandwich or and for like your armor is just little regular kid stuff, you know, you having your baseball cap or a shirt or whatever the case may be. And it starts to feel like that imagination that you had as a kid and you're bored, you're just in your backyard or you at the park with friends or whatever the case is, and you find a stick near the tree, right? And maybe your friend has a soccer ball, but because your imagination is just running wild, now that stick has become your magical staff and you're the wizard. And maybe your friend with their soccer ball now is a beast tamer and the soccer ball is your trusted lion. You know, just the stuff that imaginations can do. Think of that in that kind of mind frame, and then you hop into Earthbound, and like that's how it feels. And at the end of the day, you're like, bro, I miss being a kid. Remember when life is so much easier? Because you know, when you're a kid, you just want to be an adult. You want to hurry up and be an adult because you think everything sucks as being a kid. And then you become an adult. It takes me back to that time, man. And it's really interesting the way they've been able to frame this game has made it so immersive. Sometimes that kind of immersion, even graphics can't just give to you, you know? Because of course everything now is visual, trying to make it look as much as life as possible. Everything is simulation now, trying to look like real life. But the fantastical part of gaming sometimes can get lost in the modern gaming space. And Earthbound has helped bring me back to that. So I'm very intrigued to see where this game goes. I've been enjoying it so far. I've already got to the first sanctuary so far. And I think we're about to go meet our first homie for the adventure. So it's going to be a vibe and I'm here for it. Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I just wake up, you know what I'm saying, a little wake and bake. And then we're in that world, just traveling around, just looking through towns and seeing how people react to you. And some of the interesting things that people can say, that's part of the immersion as well. Some of the people that you just talk to in the towns that you go to, it has a certain charm, this game. It has a certain little feeling about it. I can see why it's a cult classic. And I think we need to find ways to have that feeling again, you know? Because I don't know about y'all, when I was a kid, like where my gaming time was, you know, you went to school Monday through Friday, right? And, you know, if it was a long week at school, you've had all these tests probably. If you hated homework like I did, you know, you've been working all week. Bro, that Saturday morning or about that early afternoon, because you spend Saturday morning watching cartoons, right? But like that early afternoon, that's when that gaming session came in. You probably already had breakfast. You about to have some of your first snacks of the day. You had your snacks with you. and you're just excited to just tackle whatever game that you're playing at the time. You just naturally just shut the world out, unless your parents or somebody was calling you. That'll snap you out the immersion real quick. You'll go do whatever you need to go do so you can come back into the immersion. You just click back in. And it's kind of crazy thinking about it now, how much of a skill that was, because boy, do I wish I had that skill now, where I can just, all right, these people annoying me, I got some stuff to do, just snap, hop right into my flow. Just that natural flow of just immersion. Man, sometimes we need that Saturday feeling as much as possible. That'd be the vibe. Yeah, man, I think that's what we have for this week. Y'all let me know down below in the comments what's up with y'all, what's been on your mind this week. Let's talk. I'm in the comments. And yeah, be blessed, not stressed, don't make a mess. I will talk to y'all next week, and we got some things for y'all in the tank soon, so stay tuned, man. Love y'all.
Arrivederci.